Have you ever felt so speechless and taken back by animation that was so different from typical anime films that you feel the heart and soul of the animators? Let me introduce you to Light Chaser, a studio that excels in 3D animation. My first exposure to Light Chaser animation was their film series White Snake, and at first I was not impressed by one of the studio's top films. I watched both movies, White Snake and Green Snake, on the same day. The pacing of the movies was not the best, and the character development was lacking in many areas. The romance between two main protagonists was rushed, so the climax wasn't as effective. The story is very confusing for viewers who don't know about one of the greatest folktales in Chinese history. Since there are multiple adaptations to the folktale of White Snake, the movie assumes you already know the story. But even though I knew the film was inspired by the legend of the White Snake, I was still bewildered by the direction of the series. Like, I don't understand the significance of the fox girl, but I feel like I've definitely seen her somewhere before.
Yes, young one. I can help you.
You can?
よろしい？ああ、これ赤いハートちゃんはね、ダメらしいですね。
Here I come.
She is shown in every end credit scene, and apparently the third film in the series is going to have her as the main character we follow. Also, I just find it weird that she's constantly followed by what looks like the Chinese version of an ugly bastard. The movie series each follow characters we have seen before, but the setting and story does not feel connected or coherent at all. However, as much as I critiqued about the film, for some reason I just can't stop thinking about the 3D animation quality of White Snake. The aesthetic and art style are very unique compared to Western and Japanese animation films. The first film was set in ancient China with beautiful landscape and filled with nature. The setting of the second film cannot be any different. It is set in a post-apocalyptic world with monsters and demons as destructive motorcycle gangs. But I believe that's the charm. Light Chaser animators have the talent to animate two very different environments and genres without the bar of quality dropping. Also, I just want to point out that I want Verta to choke me out. After watching the White Snake series, I decided to dive deeper into films created by Light Chaser Animation. I can confirm that this studio is definitely developing a fetish for motorcycles. Their other films produced in 2021 is called Ne Zha Reborn. Like Green Snake, the 3D animation is spectacular and the art style is very similar. Ne Zha Reborn is not a sequel to the 2019 Ne Zha film, which was produced by a different animation studio. This story focuses on Ne Zha being reborn into a modern dystopian state that is ruled by its arch rivals. I believe the film is Light Chaser Animation's best. The story is more coherent, and the pacing is easier for foreign audiences to understand and follow. If you are a fan of Chinese folktales, then you need to watch Ne Zha Reborn, because it is filled with lore. However, that doesn't mean it was a perfect movie. Like many Chinese movie tropes, it doesn't introduce the story and set it in a way that international fans can understand or follow easily. Most of the time, Chinese movie directors assume the audience already know the history or the inspiration of the story that they are presenting. This may work with some Chinese viewers, but it reduces the chance of an international audience. Overall, I don't want to spoil any of the plot points, but it's definitely a must-watch for fans who want to get into Chinese animation films. The studio is also making a sequel to Ne Zha Reborn, which I think is a very interesting direction. You have the soon-to-be trilogy of White Snake and another movie series following the story of Ne Zha with a modern twist. They aren't making standalone movies, but films that build on each other. The studio's direction seems to be taking inspiration from Chinese folktales and adding their own style of storytelling. I have not seen every Light Chaser animation film, but by looking at scenes from their very first film to their latest, Green Snake, you can see the vast improvement in animation quality. Light Chasers does not have a formula or genre that they are tied down to, and that's what makes their films exciting. Chinese animation films are mainly geared towards children, and Light Chaser followed the same formula at the very beginning. However, the shift from producing films made mainly for a younger audience completely shifted when White Snake came out. The change in direction to a more mature audience is very exciting because I believe now they have the potential to create an international fan base. You can watch both Ne Zha Reborn and Green Snake on Netflix. Based on the most recent films, I believe that Light Chaser has the blueprint to become the next big anime film studio. Over the past few years, we have seen some outstanding 3D animations like Into the Spider-Verse and Arcane. The action sequences in both slap so hard that Chris Rock would have personal bodyguards with him the next time he makes a joke about another celebrity. On the Japanese side, we have a beautifully animated series like Beastars and Dorohedoro that throws you into an intriguing fantasy story that fully immerses you into their world. Even with such a competitive market with American and Japanese 3D animation, I believe that Light Chaser, with their unique storytelling and their own animation art style, can help lead the charge in producing high quality animations for the world to see. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Also check out my other Chinese film recommendation videos if you want to see more.